Okay, we have about 20 people now. So I'm gonna start with our today's first topic, FINTRAC, receipt of funds. Because I've been talking about receipt of funds for many times, but the Department of FINTRAC is getting more and more strict. So there are always little updates here and there. Our company just got FINTRAC by the audited by the FINTRAC department, and few of our agents got selected. So we have to educate everybody, make sure when you get audited, you don't get into trouble. Okay, that's why we keep training on FINTRAC, receipt fund, and everything else. So if you have any question regarding FINTRAC or anything, feel free to text in the chat box so I can answer your question right away, or just turn on your microphone and we can talk while during training, okay? So FINTRAC receipt of funds. Okay. Why are we doing the FINTRAC? So the number one reason is to stop terrorists from getting funded, from laundering money, from making unlawful money into lawful money. So during real estate, when they have money, they will put in the bank and buy real estate and then sell real estate to wash the money, right? As a realtor, you have to be beware of money laundering and try to help stop the crime. So failure to report suspicious transaction will be up to 2 million and 5 years in prison. Failure to report a large cash transaction or electronic fund transfer, up to 500,000 of first offense, 1 million for subsequent offenses. Failure to meet record keeping requirement, up to 500,000 and 5 years in prison. Failure to provide assistance or provide information during compliance examination is up to 500,000 and 5 years in prison. Disclosing the fact that a suspicious transaction report was made, or disclosing the content of such report with intent to prejudice a crime investigation, is up to 2 years, which means if your client got audited and you tell your client, hey, CRA or the FINTRAC department is auditing your file, and if you leak that information, it's up to 2 years in prison, okay? So if you need more information, just go to FINTRAC's website, just search Google FINTRAC, and you'll find their website. When do you need this form, okay? FINTRAC receipt of fund. You need to fill in this form whenever you're getting money from your client as a deposit or any other purpose. Whenever you're getting money from the client, and whenever you get money from other agent, for example, if the listing agent asking the buyer's agent to pay deposit into the listing agent's brokerage, so the listing agent has to ask information from the buyer's agent for the fund, source of the fund. Or, for example, your client was out of town and someone else is delivering the bank draft, so you have to get their information. Okay, so the source of funds, who gave you the money? You have to find out who gave you the money. Is it your client or their friend gave you the money, okay? If their friend gave you the money, you have to take their ID information recorded. When did the money, where did the money came from? Is it from your client or from the client's company or from the client's parents or sometimes even from client's friends? Okay, you have to FINTRAC where the money came from. What are the bank information? You have to, when people give you a bank draft, you have to find out, ask for bank account holder name, bank account number and account type, because the bank draft, the numbers on the bank draft is not the client's their own bank number, because they are totally two different numbers, and it does not show where the money came from, who was it came from. A bank draft doesn't show that, okay? You have to get the client to give you that information, where the money came from, which bank account, who is the account holder. Because many times when we ask client that information, you'll find out the money actually did not came from the client's own bank account. It's either from their parents or their spouse who is not on contract, or their friend, they borrowed money, or some company you don't know who the shareholders are. Okay, so that is the reason you had to find out this information. Otherwise, when you are under audit, you probably will get into trouble because you did not do your due diligence. Records. Receipt of funds from must, like the form, sorry, there's a typo. Receipt of funds form must be completed every time you receive money from your client or other agent or anybody related to the transaction. If you cannot obtain bank details, you must explain why. And on the second page, bottom of receipt of fund form, there is a line saying explain detail. If you cannot get information from your client, you probably explain, say, hey, the client refused to provide the information due to privacy purpose, right? So you have to explain why the client did not give you the information. And you had to say, like, say, if you think it's a suspicious transaction, then you had to report to the FINTRAC department and you had to let your manager know, okay? Other agent refused to provide information. For example, you were the listing agent, the buyer agent gave you the deposit, but they do not give you any information. Then you had to explain why they don't give you the information, right? So if you don't fill in or complete receipt of fund form, then you had to explain why it wasn't completed. So that is everything for receipt of fund. So I hope when you go back today, go to web form and check out this receipt of fund, page 2, bottom, right? There is a line saying other, and then you can explain, write your explanation at other, okay?